Welcome back to the Anime Safe Space podcast, and we have really sad news today. No, we're not kicking anybody off the pod this time. It's actually sad news about the greatest anime of all time ending, Black Goater, also known as Black Clover. I personally don't watch the show myself, but I know that Tel and Jake do. How do you guys feel about this very sad moment in history?
You know, can we just talk about how you just kind of just went into it?
Yep, just went right into it. Hey, you know that's what we're all about here. We always dive right in.
You went straight in, all raw, and I wasn't ready for that actually. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm shook even.
I told you I'm prepared, man, but you just derailed that perfect segue just right into the topic by bringing up the fact that I was prepared.
Yeah, I know. How does it feel?
I'd appreciate if you answered the question.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a good thing for Black Clover because it's had a lot of production issues, during which you would see.
You're giving a serious answer, dude? Are you kidding me?
Are you serious? It's been ongoing for 3.5, 4 years, something like that. So I'm glad they're taking it off because they are about to catch up to the manga, so they need time. It's either that or they go into filler, which would fucking suck. Because filler sucks. Because it's the arc that they're on right now. It's moving right now. It's moving. It's a good arc so far.
Yeah.
It's one of those no one is safe, and I like that.
Well, I mean, Tel, how do you feel about it? Like I said, you're the fellow Black Goater fan here. You know, the greatest anime of all time, also known as Goat Clover.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Jake. It's been going on for a long time, and I know that's a really huge struggle trying to keep it up and keep the quality of the content and everything else going with it. But it is sad to see it go. I'm kind of upset that it'll be gone. But
then again, I don't think it's gonna be done. It's gonna finish soon unless they pull the Bleach.
Right.
Because they could transition into this yearly show into a seasonal, and that would be great. Because the times that Black Clover, they do put a lot of attention to the episodes. It looks good, and the arcs are good too. Except the filler's still shit. But I mean, we did have that captain fight a couple episodes ago, 10-ish, something like that.
Yeah,
that was good. So,
basically, from the looks of it. Yeah, I think it should go the My Hero route where it's 2 cores at a time. Because, I mean, to be honest, in the first place, I'm not sure why they went going the Naruto route. Because it's I think when the show started, there had to have been 100 something chapters, 130 possibly. My Hero was already 100 chapters deep basically when the anime started. So it's there was no reason to try to catch up because it's you're not gonna. If you're gonna try to do it all of them in one go, you're going to catch up eventually, and then you're going to run out of shit to do, and then you're just going to have to put the show on hiatus for a while. My Hero is able to consistently come out over and over again because they're consistently 100 chapters behind, so yeah, right. I don't really get it.
Ethan got this info from Gintama, so just want to let you guys know.
It is facts. Gintama teaches everything.
It did teach the episode what filler does to anime.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Who needs college? We just watch Gintama. We're good to go.
It's literally life lessons.
Yeah. Even the titles.
Well, so I mean that was the Black Goater discussion, right? I mean, I think we all said our condolences for the show. Personally, I'm gonna miss my goat Asta, greatest character of all time. He has the best character design. He's buff as shit. He's my goat.
He's now buff as shit, dude. He literally got buff out of nowhere.
Have you not seen? I was gonna say, have you not seen that fucking when he's doing push-ups in the new? I don't know. I just love the Asta jokes. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was the last opening.
Sorry, the last opening. Yeah.
Yeah, this one he's literally walking down all buff as shit. Literally able to take your woman at a glance. That's how he looks right now.
I don't know, he's like a fucking manlet, but then he's also the size of a fucking boulder now, so it's just funny to see him. He went from whatever he was before to now he's just jacked as shit for no conceivable reason. But he's my goat. He can do anything.
No, right now in the anime right now, it's looking hella good because the next episode's title has Yami in it, and there's a big ass fight, and I'm hyped as shit because that thing's gonna.
You only have 2 more months to bask in the glory of Black Goater before it ends. So
It was gonna be sad.
Yeah.
I remember I started watching in high school when it first started, so it's weird. It's weird seeing it go because it was kind of like one of those things. Like every Tuesday, I would watch it, and now I just have nothing.
Well, speaking of having nothing, there's a certain fan base that is getting nothing now too, Jake. I know you wanted to talk about this. So you can take it away.
Let's talk about a certain show that doesn't keep their promises all the time, right? Promise Neverland is 11 episodes in the season. It's 4 episodes in, and they decide to have a recap episode.
Yeah, next episode is going to be a recap.
Are you going to have a recap episode with 11 episodes of content? Oh my god, this is just so frustrating.
Oh, and I would like to also inform you, there is a time skip in The Promised Neverland that is, I think, 2 years. They reduced it down in the anime to 1 year for some reason, and they skipped an arc before that.
They skipped
I don't know what they're doing.
Because they're going to... Well, I saw like comparisons of what's happening. One, like even just watching the show... When they're in the shelter, they're there for less than an episode, and then they're just gone. Like there's no safety. Like what was the point of the shelter?
Like I said, they're supposed to spend the arc there. I don't know why they changed that. It's like this whole season was supposed to be there, so I don't know.
Yeah, and then apparently they didn't introduce 2 of like the best characters, like when they go on the radio. Yeah, I forget their names because I'm gonna read it soon.
Like I said, they fucking yeeted them out of existence. So
they could honestly with this recap episode they could just probably just say, hey, this is just a flashback. Here the characters are. No, it's just so frustrating. The only good part right now is the Isabel because I don't know what's happening. She's gonna be like
I haven't watched the last 2 episodes because I've just been like enjoying hearing like this meltdown, but I have no motivation to watch it because of that.
Yeah, well, I can give you like a quick rundown. Like, so they're skipping arcs, yada yada, but they keep like going back to Isabel in the jail cell. And
has my nigga Phil Chan killed her?
Phil Chan is still at the farm, I believe, but like they keep like she looks like female Aaron. That's the best way to describe her with long ass hair. But they told her that she has to go find their kids. That's it. I don't know what else they're gonna do, but it looks sort of good, at least, with the premise, but I don't... All I'm hearing is that they skipped a lot of the good parts, and the Goldie arc, which is supposed to be the Pond. Goldie Pond, yeah, that one. And they're going to skip that arc. The best, considered like one of the best arcs in that manga, so... Sad to see it go the anime route, but it's time for me to start reading more manga. Yeah, I like didn't want to read the Promised Neverland manga because I was like, oh, the anime was so good, I think it's gonna do so well. Now I'm just considering foregoing the anime and just reading the manga because everybody's talking about how good Goldie Pond is, and I was super excited to like watch that. Obviously we're not gonna get it now. I think they're literally pulling like a Tokyo Ghoul like Rude now because it's just like what the fuck. What is the
where
point
do you go from here?
I don't know what the point of it is.
Yeah,
like does he like...
I even saw that they changed like one of the big reveals today too, and it's just like, so they're trying to follow the manga while also doing their own thing, which you can't do. It's like you either completely go in your own direction or you stick to the manga. It's like you can't have it both ways, I think.
Well, I guess
like you can make small changes here and there, but you can't make major changes like that.
Well, the author is a part of it, so he can make the major changes because he can just say so.
I know he's the one that can make the changes, but it's just basically like, why is he making the changes to the ones that were the most well received? It's like Goldie Pond was considered the best one in the whole series, and he removes that. And then you have this time skip arc that everybody hates, and he's keeping that. And it's like, well, are you trying to fix shit, or are you trying to piss people off? Because it's like, I don't know what he wants.
He's pissing... I don't think he's pissing... He's trying to, like... I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to, like, pull everything away from, like, the ending of the show. And, like, trying to rewrite the ending without touching the middle of the show. Which I don't know why.
But even then, it's just, like... That's still an awful route to go. It's like, there's no really excusable route that he's going right now. It's like...
It's just bad. That's the best way to describe it.
I feel bad for the fan base. It's like, like there's a lot of times where you have the annoying manga fans, like the Attack on Titan fans right now are being pretty annoying about their adaptation, but they're getting a solid adaptation. The Promised Neverland manga fans have every right to complain about this series right now because like
it's bad.
Why?
It's horrible right now.
It's like what the fuck. It'd be like if Yudu Camp turned into a fucking shonen manga, like right in the middle of it. I'd be like, yeah, what the fuck is going on?
That'd be pretty funny though. They like so the whole point of it is that they must defeat the Demon King by camping in front of the castle.
Yeah.
Now I would watch that. Yeah, you're right.
Just saying, like if it became a shonen, everyone would still watch it.
Yeah, it's this is like one of those excusable situations. It's just basically like you're so excited to see something like adapted, like your favorite scenes and moments and all of that, and then they just say fuck you and just do it completely different. It's like, yeah, I would be upset too. So you guys got like every right to be upset about it. I haven't even read it and I'm upset too because it's just basically like I heard so much hype from it and now we're not going to get it. And I have zero faith that this new direction they're going is going to be better than what was in the manga because it's like, yeah, I don't know. I have not been interested in the season either, so that's partly why I don't want to like continue. It's just because like what I've seen, I think I've seen 3 episodes. Yeah, what I've seen of it is just basically like, well, what's the point of continuing watching? Because yeah, episode 5 was today, I think, Jake. Because I've seen 3 episodes. So
yeah, that's I'll
and
watch.
I'll
keep watching it.
It should be 5. I mean, yeah,
I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna have high hopes already.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it, but any of the second season at least, just mainly because of all the like backlash that it's gotten. Everybody hates it, so it's like, am I really interested in investing myself for the anime, or should I read it instead? I'm probably gonna read it and see how that goes. That's like my current plan. I don't know. I might jump in and like watch a little bit of it, but I've been wanting to read it for a while. Just never got around to it, so I think this is it's just a sign that I should just go read it instead, because it's disappointing to fans of the show already, much less people that are like kind of like side invested into it, kind of like me. It's disappointing to see what's happening.
Yeah, it sucks seeing shows like as good as this just going off the deep end, but it just happens sometimes. Like I said, Tokyo Ghoul is prime example. This is just another. I thought studios would learn from that mistake, but obviously they aren't. And again, part of me just thinks it's both the creator just wants to end the show, and the fact that Cloverworks is putting all their like focus into their other shows like Horimiya and Wonder Egg, which are a million times better right now. So yeah, I don't know. I think their attention is just directed elsewhere, because they also do work with outsourced shows too. So it's just like, I think they're just not giving two shits about the Promised Neverland right now, because I don't know, it doesn't really look like mind-blowingly good. It's the story's been pretty and that's because they're changing everything. That thing's made sense. It's
well, I mean,
it's a shame.
The first 2 episodes were kind of like the same, or they were following it. They weren't anime original.
They were just
okay. They were setting up. That's what I was. They were setting up.
I was going to say they were set up episodes, and I was like, okay, I'm perfectly fine with that. But then it looks like they're doing nothing with that setup. So that's also where it's like, by episode 3, it's like, okay.
The setup literally did nothing. So this is kind of sad. But speaking of reading manga, I have been reading Vinland Saga, and because I was like halfway done with like Farmland Saga. So that's about like chapter like 60ish, something like that. I'm now in chapter 157. I binged read it for like 5 hours, from like 10 to 3 o'clock, and I'm confident to saying Thorfinn's like top 3.
Who's your second protagonist? Araragi, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Araragi and then Gintoki.
Okay.
I am very comfortable with Thorfinn at 3, and I'm only on like chapter 157, which is still not the end. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Farmland Saga is literally just a farm. That's the whole point. And it's so goddamn good.
He's often compared to Eren, I know, because he's like the polar opposite of Eren. So it's like,
yeah,
interested to see how that works out.
It's he literally does a 180, and it's so enjoyable to read and watch like him go through like the Tor's route, what Tor's wanted him to be, and he's literally living it out. And it's so much fun to read. Like the arc that I was on right now, like it's not the greatest, but he still has the moments, and you still see the character development within him, which I'm loving so far.
He's doing the Tor speedrun glitchless any % run.
No deaths.
But yeah, Vinland's always in a weird place with me. It's like a lot of like the most like legendary manga and stuff like that I always like want to see the anime for. Like Attack on Titan, I intentionally didn't read because I wanted to see it animated. The same thing with Vinland. I'm sure the manga is fantastic, but I really do want to see it animated, and I think it's something I can wait for. So I'll hold out hope for a bit that the anime comes soon.
So
because I get other things I can read.
Yeah. So with that, like, Wit Studio did such a good job animating the faces that I would say you can wait, because the adaptation was actually really good. Not gonna lie, like it was a really good. The second half of the season was all right because they had a lot of issues, you could tell. But I think if you're ever bored, I would consider you should read it, like, because you'll get sucked in. That's really it. You just get sucked in. It's
a shame that Thorfinn will never break my top 3 though, because it's too stacked. I think Foss is just an untoppable, just unrivaled character. So I'm sorry. I mean, just preemptively, I'm going to say I don't think Thorfinn touches Foss. But
just wait till you read it, brother.
No, we'll see. Again, I like Thorfinn, but basically it's like with Foss, I liked Foss from the very beginning. I liked Gintoki from the very beginning. I liked Araragi from the very beginning. You know how I feel about Thorfinn. I do not like him.
I know
you're not supposed to, but yeah, I do not like him.
You remember, it's a prologue. He literally does a 180 right after the show.
Well, I know, and same thing with Eren though. It's like I think Eren's gonna be fantastic, but it's like I don't think I can put him in like top 3 or anything, because I do not like time skip Eren at all. He has like some good moments, but I do not think he's a good character. Like he's fine, but in the cast of AOT and compared to other protagonists, he's not very good. Well, so like in that instance, and I think Thorfinn, yes, he's supposed to be like not necessarily likable, but even then, it's like I didn't like him this whole time. I don't know if I can put him in my top 5 because of that. I hope he's like, up there in top 10, and I hope to God that he's so good that he just completely destroys that criteria for me. But just basing it off that alone, I don't think I can put him up there because that'd feel disingenuous to me.
Well, that's kind of weird because like, even if you have a great character, like after like maybe the second season, like you would say that you couldn't put him in your top 3 or top 5 because you didn't like him at first, even if he had great character development.
There's characters that I can think are okay. I'm saying that there's like a difference between thinking they're fine or like thinking that they're just not that great versus disliking. I dislike Thorfinn is what I'm saying.
So
he
then
is like literally a knock on the show to me.
After it.
Might be a bias, I guess. I mean, if you want to, I'm aware that this is more of a preference type thing than it is like actual like rating system. But like I said, my favorite characters, what I've noticed the trend is, and something that I usually base off of is, again, I had to like him the whole time, and most of my characters, like my top 10 and 15, are characters I've liked the whole entire time. So it's like something I noticed. Again, I think I'm not going to necessarily go into Vinland and then be like, well, Thorfinn's going to be below top 20 because I hated him at first. But it's more like I just don't think he's going to be top 5. That's basically what I want to say. I'm aware it's biased. Again, I'm aware it's a little dumb, but that's just how I am.
That's pretty stupid. Not going to lie. Tell you.
I mean, I was going to say, I don't know how Tell feels about that, but I think a sign of good character is being, good a majority of the time. So, that's what I think good writing is. Again, like I said, there you can write intentionally flawed characters, but I don't think Thorfinn's flaw was done that amazingly well until, like, the final episode. So, yeah.
Which is why that's
just me. I don't like the prologue defense. So
well, it's literally the
a prologue is still a part of the prologue is still a part of the story. So
it's part of the story. It's the beginning of the story.
And it was a 26 episode prologue, so that should not be valid. That should not be a valid defense.
Yeah, that's literally the first arc. It's only one arc.
And it was 26 episodes of a character development, Jake. That is completely fair criteria to judge him off of. I'm aware it's a prologue, but 26 episode prologue. Yeah. So it's like there's not really a reason to bring up the fact that it's a prologue. It's a story standalone on its own, and I thought he wasn't that good in it. So,
well, to begin with, like he wasn't really like the main focus of the whole thing. The whole show started. It was more of him rising up, but he started becoming a background character because it wasn't about him anymore. It was about Canute, it was about Askeladd, and it was about Torkel. Because he started.
Well, what's your thought on it, Till? Yeah, what's your thought on my opinion on character writing?
So character
I can see where you're coming from, Ethan, but at the same time I still kind of like gotta side with Jake for a majority of the time, because I love like character arcs where they come in and you're just like, man, this character just it just doesn't get to me. I don't agree with him. I don't really like him. He's not going to make my top 20. Like, that's the way you first think of him. But then later on down the line, when they make a 180 turn and you start loving him, I think those characters are like...
Well, I think you guys are misunderstanding me. Like, Nobunobu, I thought he was like, yeah, he's okay. I don't think there's much of him. And then he makes a complete 180 and ends up in my favorites. That's different versus me going, I do not like Thorfinn. I don't think he's a good character. And then he gets better writing on the verse hand, then I'm like, okay, so there's this aspect of Thorfinn that I really like, and then there's aspect of Thorfinn that I really dislike. Is it fair for me to put him in my top 5, despite the fact that I really hate this aspect of his character that took up half the story? Is that
again? Well,
that's
then
basically what
again
I'm trying to
with
say.
Nobunobu, because you saw his 180, so you're saying that you dislike the past of him before you did the 180.
I didn't dislike the past of him. I just thought he was a fine character.
What needs to happen
I thought he was okay.
What needs to happen, you need to read it, see the 180, and then come back and talk, because
maybe I'll read it now just to eat my words.
Is not a way to hash out this argument when only one of us knows what even the fuck happened.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think, again, just with like Eren too, like I said, I'm loving Eren right now, but it's just basically when I'm judging him too, he has 100 chapters and 60 episodes worth of this character I dislike. I don't think it'd be completely fair for me to be like, oh, he's my favorite character of all time, despite the fact that I hate everything about him for a majority of the series. So that's where I'm coming from. I think you have to look at the character as a whole and not just their best moments. That's essentially what I'm trying to say.
But wouldn't those best moments start making him better?
Yeah, they make him better, but again, I don't think they completely outweigh the bad. That is what I'm trying to tell you.
Even if the good is just way, way above and beyond?
When there's so many glaring things that I dislike about them, then yes, Jake. I don't really see the point in discussing opinions like this anymore, because it's very obvious we have different opinions on writing. So I think at the end of the day, we're just going to agree to disagree, because I don't think you're wrong and I don't think I'm wrong. It's just basically like you obviously have a different perspective on how to rate characters, and I have a different perspective. So
speaking of rating characters, I saw today that Quintessential Quintuplets is getting a dating sim game.
Yeah, you know I'm already first in line, baby.
Yes, sir.
Didn't you send that to me, Jake?
No, I didn't. But yeah, they're getting a dating sim game. I think it's like I forget. It was I know it's a dating sim game, and you already know which girl I'm going to be going for.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you're going for Yotsuba, right?
Are you serious?
Nah, dude, Itsuki.
Nah, just kidding. We're all Miku stands here.
Itsuki, dude? Are you serious?
Yes, that's part of the joke.
Are you serious?
We're all Miku Church here. Don't worry.
All right, so I don't know how far you guys have watched of like this season right now.
2 episodes behind.
You're 2 episodes behind, so you still haven't seen Nino yet. You haven't seen Nino turn into a
I know
chat.
Nino has a great moment, and I know Ichika had a moment today. So
she did have a moment today, yeah. But I'm telling you, the Nino gang is like second right now. It always has been. It goes Church, the Church of Miku, then it goes Nino Gang, and there's no in between because fuck all the other girls.
Yeah, I don't think I can rate Miku that high because I disliked her first. I'm just kidding. I loved her the whole time.
I knew you were gonna pull that joke. I knew it.
No, I liked Miku the whole time. But I'm trying to remember what episode, because I remember I was Yotsuba Gang at first, Jake. Remember I was telling you for like the first 5 episodes I was Yotsuba Gang?
No, it was like 2 or 3 episodes. It was 2-3 episodes.
Miku had one moment, and then I remember I completely converted. I was like, I'm sorry for sending. I was so misguided. Yeah. So, Miku Gang for life. If you guys don't like Miku here, get the fuck out.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yep. We're a safe space. We're 90%. Fuck Naruto. I don't know who else. And if you're not Church of Miku, get the fuck out. Those are the 3 things. I don't know the second one, but we'll just go with it.
Tell about it, the quintessential quintuplets dating sim game. There's a more important game on the horizon, though, and it's the Yudu-Camp VR game. Ooh. So fucking excited for that, man. I'm so excited. You just get to go Lake Motosuko camping with Rin and Nadeshiko, and it's just...
I'm going to sit this one out.
VR. Yeah, I don't even like VR, but I'm so excited for that game. What about you?
Do you even have a VR?
I can borrow one from my brother. He said he will literally let me borrow one just so I can play it. I'm like, you know what? You're a god.
That's fair. I'm going to have to go borrow one from a couple rooms down and be able to play that game, because I definitely would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so
I guess I haven't. Did you never even like send anything to me about that? Because I didn't even know that was a thing.
It was announced like months ago, so I probably did. You probably just forgot. I haven't talked about it at all. So
yeah,
I just remember that it was coming out in like next month. I think sometime.
I know that the quintessential quintuplets game is coming out March 25th.
Is that a phone game too? By the way, is it a Crunchyroll sponsored game?
I feel like it is. No, it's coming out on Switch and PS4, and that's the only 2 platforms.
Oh shit! All right, I'm copping that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the trailer that I watched for the game was only in Japanese, so I'm not exactly sure like all the details, and I didn't look much further than that one trailer. But I mean, all I need to know is that there's a quintessential quintuplets game coming out, dating sim, and I'm good to go. Take my money.
Yes, sir. Well, Jay, don't worry. We're done with the Yudu-Camp talk. You can come back in. I mean, you and I should be watching Yudu-Camp.
Hey guys.
Oh, speaking of which, though, I might have a new obsession. I know. I mean, we usually talk about what we're watching at the end, but I did want to bring up. Tell you are. I think you mentioned on the pod before. You are from the sticks. You live out in the boonies, or you did live out in the boonies. Fucking nothing around. Just small town. Just absolutely nothing to do. I am watching a show about that. It is called Nan Nan Biyori. I think you would love it. It is just about living in the sticks, their country. They absolutely they don't believe they live in the country because like that's all they know. And then a city girl moves in, and they just literally dick around and have fun. And I just love it. It's so cute. It is just literally about enjoying life and just like enjoying your childhood, because they're literally all in elementary and middle school. So, and yeah, it's literally just a tiny ass school with 6 people in it. And I think you can relate to that. And,
definitely.
Yeah, and they just literally just walk around. They walk. There's one store in town, and you have one store in town.
Yeah.
And I think there is one bus route, and that was it. That is it. There is literally nothing else to do there, and it's like an amazing show. It is so cute. I love Nan Nan Biyori so much. So that is my plug for that. It's probably gonna end up my top 10. I'm on the 2nd season right now, so it's my top 10 has been in shambles recently.
Yeah, I definitely need to give that a watch, because that sounds like life growing up, except probably minus the sports, because that's all I ever did to pass the time. Work on the farm and play sports.
That actually leads me into an interesting question then, because I went in thinking this was going to break my top 10 beforehand, and it most likely is. Do you guys have any of those shows that are on your plan to watch, or you haven't watched yet, that you fully expect to be in your top 10 or like be a favorite?
No Gatsu no Line, something like that. I forgot. March
Sangatsu
comes as like
no Line.
Yeah, Sangatsu. Yeah, I'm still on episode 6. It's been like 2 months, and I have like everything downloaded on Netflix right now on my phone, and I'm just like waiting for the day that I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch it. I think that show is going to break my top 6 at least.
Oh yeah, same here. I expect to be in top 10 at the very least.
I mean, I don't know about watching shows, but the one that I can think of that's pretty big is Berserk. I'm in the middle of reading that one. Although it's been a very slow process of reading it. I've been taking like a 2-month break, but I fully expect that one to just break into my top 10 because it does for pretty much everybody from what I've been hearing.
Well, one for me, and this probably pleased Jake to hear, even though I'm not going to touch the show for a bit. I already know. I fully expect K-On! To be a favorite of mine, and that's partly why I don't want to watch it. It's just because, like, I know it's probably I'm going to love the show. It's going to probably become an obsession, but it's like, I don't know. I haven't got around to watching it, and I know I'll love it. It's like, I think it has everything made for me. I just love watching cute girls doing cute shit. Like, and almost... to me, what I've come to find with a lot of my favorite shows now, it's like having one simple message is what I love. Like Yuta Camp and Nana Biori just have one simple overarching message, and it manages to be deeper than literally the most complex shows out there. So, and I'm sure K-On! Is the same thing. So,
you're missing.
It has everything made for me.
You're literally missing out right now.
Yeah. Sometime it'll be watched. I do plan on getting it done this year. I'm also going to be watching a long series this year because I told myself that'll be one of my goals. So it's between JoJo's Hunter x Hunter and Symphogear, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm leaning more towards Symphogear than anything else.
I have Symphogear in the plan to watch, and my list is slowly growing down right now. I think I'm only like 40 shows now.
Yeah, the order for me goes Symphogear, then Hunter x Hunter, and then a space, and then JoJo's. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything against JoJo's. It's just like one of those things where it's like I really have no desire to watch JoJo's. Even though I know I'd like the show, I have zero fucking inclination to watch that show. So
I think that's fair. I mean, the only reason I watched it was because I still was like just now watching shows, and Jake was talking about it every other goddamn day. So
yeah, I wish I like forced myself to get through it back then, because it's like now it's like, well, I gotta go jump into part 2, and then I know most of the plot points because people like spoiling that, then jump into part 3 and then know most of the plot points because people spoiled that, so on and so forth. And then it's just like, well, okay, well, I watched all of that, it was good like I was expecting, but did I really enjoy myself? The only one I'm really looking forward to is part 4, and that's like the only reason I kind of want to watch JoJo's right now. But yeah,
Joe, how do you like JoJo's though? Would you have watched it if I didn't say anything?
Probably not, honestly, if you didn't say anything. I mean, if I was in Ethan's situation right now and I had to like watch it now as if I've never watched it, I would probably also be in the same situation as Ethan, have a lot more that would probably come before it. But if you wouldn't have said anything, probably not. I know all the memes and stuff, and that's about all I've seen of it. And usually shows that come out with like a lot of memes, I'm not as inclined to watch. I don't know why, but the more exposure I get to it outside, if it's all just meme shit, the more it kind of turns me off the show. Okay. And that's the only other way that I would have heard of it besides you, so I probably wouldn't have.
But was it the best decision of your life? It's the real question.
I mean, Speedwagon is not best waifu, so
he knows.
Kind
he
of,
knows. Yeah, see, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. It's fine.
But yeah, I mean, I'll still watch JoJo's eventually. I mean, I think we all know this. I'll get to it when I get to it, I think. It's like, it's a classic. I have to watch it. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, but I don't want to.
See, you got to you got to watch it before part 6 comes out in another 4 years.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Kind of like how you said you were going to finish One Piece before it gets to chapter.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fucking pipe dream, because I was hoping they'd take a lot of hiatuses, because he was taking a lot of hiatuses, but no, he got it done in time. So that's just a long gone dream. I'll just take my time with One Piece.
How was that going?
I haven't read it since. I have not read it since like we discussed it that one time.
So
I have not been reading manga though, to be fair.
Arc.
I'm still on Skypiea, so 256, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't read in like 3 months. But again, to be fair, I have not been reading manga. I think the last one I seriously read was Hoseki no Kuni, which was like a month ago. So, because I'm behind on My Hero now too. Because as soon as Chainsaw Man ended, I just like stopped opening my Shonen Jump app. So I've been behind on that. But I'll get back into it. I just bought a bunch of light novels and manga. Like I finally own the first season of Monogatari, and I already own all the second season. So I'm probably gonna read all the light novels pretty soon. I'm gonna get back into reading.
What a dweeb.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm a weirdo. I even own like all the other light novels and some ReZero ones. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of reading, but excited for it.
Who reads nowadays?
I know, fucking weirdos. Well, speaking of reading, we can read some questions from the guests that we asked on Twitter.
I fucking hate you.
You were about to segue into that, weren't you? Stole it from you, huh?
You did.
I know, you set that up perfectly. Thanks for that, Jake.
Oh, sad.
Okay, so we put out on Twitter, to ask us questions. You guys are free to ask us like anything you want. We have some stupid ones here, but we can get the actual ones out of the way. First off, from Jared or Jaridgi. He asked, have you guys been thinking of possibly making some ass merch, like a mug or something? And what are you boys thinking about that?
I mean, I'd be down for it. I don't know. We'd have to definitely have a customer base that would buy if we were gonna do that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
if more of y'all want that, then like let us know and we'll look into it for sure. Because I definitely have some connections that probably could get that rolling, but it'll have to be worth it. Got to have people wanting it too.
And a way to make it happen too is becoming patrons.
Yeah,
we haven't got much patrons yet. I don't think we have any actually, but fist bump boys, air fist bump.
It's not surprising. Our episode that announced it was fine. Like one of our worst episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I've hardly been advertising it, and that was a terrible episode too. It was probably the worst episode to talk about a shit story, but you know what? That's on me. But yeah, I mean, a way to make that happen, like I said, is becoming patrons. We can make it through Patreon and stuff like that too, the merch. But to me, at least when it comes to merch, I like the ones where it is like hardly resembles the show or series or person, basically. So it's like I wouldn't want something that just says like anime safe space like plastered on it. I like cool designs more. Yes. But it's like if you're a part of the fan base and you know where it's from, then you're like, oh, okay, I know what that is. And maybe there's like a small thing that plugs the show, but for the most part, I don't like walking around with things like like PewDiePie has merch and it just says PewDiePie plastered on it, or like other YouTubers do that. It's just like, I don't like walking around being a billboard. I just like having cool designs. So if we were to do something like that, I think we'd come up with like a nice design, honestly.
So what I'm
and maybe play on ass.
So what I'm hearing is we just put a picture of your bare ass and put it on a mug, and we sell it.
That's exactly what you're saying, dude.
That's the way to do it, right there. Yeah.
Like anyone knows your ass now because they've seen it so many times. Like I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think the only variation I'd like to do, is just if it's saying ass, maybe, or like a play on like the words. But again, I wouldn't want it just saying anime safe space and the Kaguya logo. Then it's like, one, we're making money off Kaguya, which I don't think we're allowed to do.
That's
copyright. Yeah, it's copyright right there, baby. And and then I don't know, just saying anime safe space. It's like, who wants to walk around with a shirt saying anime safe space? So we'll figure it out. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, but it'd be cool to do in the future. Again, we're growing at a pretty healthy rate. And we're gonna have like a lot of things happening this year, and that actually leads into the next one from at CrunchyBiggles1. He asked, "What are your future plans for the podcast?"
I actually hate you. Like I hate how you're doing this good.
Dude, I'm on fire today. I know
you're setting the bar too high for this podcast.
Yeah, man. I know, dude. You know what? All right. I'm sorry, Crunchy Bag, but we're gonna have to get into the actual question right now, right? At Jinx says, how did Kazu not only manage to lose a 1v4 in Pokemon Showdown, but also lose 2 more times to the same kid? Please elaborate on this.
I was going to actually ask you to not bring this one up, and this isn't because how funny I lost, because nobody's going to know what the fuck we're talking about. So let's just not bring that one up. Yes, I lost a 1v4 in Pokemon Showdown to somebody, but there is no exciting meat to that story. I just lost a 1v4 against an Urshifu.
That's just funny. It's just funny because
it's just funny. But again, nobody's gonna know what the fuck we're talking about, man.
I got paid on the side. It's fine.
Well, anyways, I'd like to answer Crunchy Bagels' question. What are our future plans for the podcast, and do we like the direction it's heading in? I didn't like the direction it was heading in just 10 seconds ago. So,
see, the problem that's our identity. So we're like, if we go forward, we're gonna lose our identity, and we're just gonna be another podcast. If you think to me, that would be.
To me, Well, I mean, I still like the direction we're heading. It's not like we're becoming like super professional or anything. We talked about shit on the last episode, man.
That's pretty funny.
We haven't been prepared. And I do like the direction that the podcast is heading. It's like
the real question is though, do we even have a direction we're heading in? We're just kind of fucking drunkenly.
Yeah, I mean, we're not
controlling
the direction.
We're not. We're kind of playing it by ear. But I mean, like we have like general ideas like when we want to get stuff done. It's just we're probably going to get stuff done like 2 weeks after when we wanted to do it.
Yeah, it's like we have set things we want to do with the pod, and then it's not like it's like imperative or something. And it's not like we have a set goal for this year to be done. It's just more like, we felt like doing something and we get it done. Like we decided just a day to make the Discord, so we made the Discord. And as far as future plans go, it's like we were saying, just grow the Patreon fan base, have more bonus episodes going, grow our Discord community, and have more guests on. It's like we'd like to have more guests from like the anime community, not just from Twitter. Like I said, even though it is fun to have discussions with my friends, and Jake and Tel get to know them too, since I know they don't really talk on Twitter much. But
I'm usually I'm usually on the Discord though. Like I mean, not as much, but I'm still like on the Discord. Like I'm open to like just playing games and just talking to people. I'm into that too, which I'm going to segue into another one. How's your Twitch growing? Please follow Ethan at Kikazu on Twitch. He is now able to be subscribed to, so please subscribe with your Twitch Primes.
Oh, I thought somebody actually asked that. How's my Twitch going? I mean, it's going good. Like I said, we just hit 100 followers, and I also did ask too, and you guys can feel free to answer in the YouTube below. Like, if you guys like us to stream on Twitch sometimes, like the episodes. I don't feel like doing it all the time, but there can be some times where we stream the podcast episodes to Twitch. I already did tweet out a question asking people, and some of them seem on board with it, so something we can look into. It'd be streamed from my channel, obviously, so I mean, I would have to figure out how to get the OBS layout and see if you guys can stream your camera to me, so it's not just boring picture on the screen of us.
We could,
but it'll take work, but I'll figure it out.
So like with
probably
that,
just have to like stream the Discord.
We can Zoom it. We could use it as Zoom, Discord or Zoom. We can do those two.
Yeah, Zoom, but then I'd have to come up with like a layout and everything still. So I'd have to figure out if my PC can handle that. So
yeah, your PC actually sucks. I'm gonna lie.
I mean, it doesn't, but it has been crashing, running some streams sometimes. But I mean, for the most part, it's running fine. But yeah, the Twitch has been going good. Like I said, I'm already an affiliate, already have some subs. Thank you guys who subbed to me. And again, we're just doing a lot more this year. I think that also coincides with the podcast, Country Bagels. Like, we're saying this is in part helping out the pod, like what I'm doing on Twitch and stuff like too, which is more promotion, more people getting to the podcast, vice versa. And we'll obviously be able to stream the podcast from the Twitch. And yeah, and as far as like we're saying future plans, just more guests. And I mean, really, that's like the only plans we have, right?
As of right now, like just for me, like I want to get my stream set up. I'm maybe like 2 days away if I want to do it. And if you guys want to come see me play games or try and be Kazu at Tetris, I can't do that.
Well, this leads us into our next question. This comes from no, I'm not going to answer that Tetris question, Jake. I know you thought I was going to beautifully segue into that.
So you want to scrape
this comes from at needs more squiz. Due to your bitchless circumstances, when will there be females on the podcast? I don't know, man.
They have to come to us.
Female guest on here.
We can't. Well, I mean, we could talk to one, maybe, and that's it. You got to remember, we're anime safe space. We're not how to get girls 101, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tell is, but he's just here.
Yeah. Look, we're running an anime podcast here, dude. Like the bar is pretty fucking high for a girl to come on right now. So,
like you go up to a random girl and say, "Hey, girl, like I got a podcast. Ooh, what's it about? It's about anime," and they'll actually stab you through the chest right then and there.
Dude, they'll call the police on you.
They'll just walk away.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you know any females that want to come into the pod, you're welcome to direct them towards us. But for now, we don't know. That just coincides with the guest question. We'd like to have a woman on the podcast, but probably not going to happen for a bit.
Probably
so,
not.
Yeah, it's just a sausage fest in here. But, that's how we like it, boys. Am I right?
All right, I'm gonna put like $3 on this. Someone's gonna go into our email, say, "Hey, I'm a girl. I'm 15. Please let me on the podcast." And it's gonna be some guy that's like named like Jim. I'm gonna say Jim, and he's gonna be like 30 years old.
Dude, I want a 30-year-old Jim on the podcast. You kidding me? This sounds awesome. Again, well,
you don't see the face I'm making, but I am
let
just
you have that
disgusted
awkward
right there.
silence there.
Yeah, I mean, I like that Jake didn't answer that question there. Well, I mean, we can answer this next question, though. This comes from @Otaragi. He asked, when will I be on the podcast? And, well, Hadrian, you might possibly be on the podcast next week, depending on if things work out. So you guys can look forward to that. He's an Oregairu fan. Might possibly be our first guest of 2021. And yeah, he likes Oregairu, so you already know where that conversation's gonna go.
Yeah, we're not talking about Oregairu at all. If he brings it up
again,
even
we're also
once,
still looking to get more guests on. Be cool if he was the start of it.
And we're gonna send him a letter in the mail.
Yeah, I mean, I think out of the other stupid questions, I think this is it. I think that's like the main series questions we got. Let me check real quick. Yeah, that's really it. But yeah, boys, I think those are all interesting viewer questions. Like I said, I want to do this more often too, like have the listeners, tell us their input and ask us about anything too. It doesn't have to be anime related.
Yeah, I think that's why I think that if we were to stream a couple of episodes, it would be pretty good because they can comment live and we can see, their opinions on what we were talking about and stuff.
Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, that might be what we do then. Yeah, for the next Q&A
thing. You guys will still
things.
be able to hear me. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Just give us content on the fly. It might be again more question-oriented episodes, but
Yeah.
Oh,
next time we have no
my
content,
internet
we'll
just
do that
died, right?
instead of talking about Ethan's shit stories. Hopefully.
yeah, we'll
Die
abuse guest
again?
content again, like always.
My internet died again.
What?
My internet died again. I was talking while my internet was dead.
Oh well, we're gonna hear that in the pod unless I edit it out. But I'm lazy. You guys might hear it.
48:41. So I'll send you the timestamp.
All right. I don't know why my brain went like, whoa, he said timestamp. I'm going to segue into a question about favorite time travel anime, but you know what? That was a stupid fucking tangent because we both would have said Steins Gate. So
Yeah, I was about to say.
like that'll go nowhere.
Yeah. I can bring up the other topic that I had.
Yeah, we need to be professional.
Let's hear it.
I was talking with one of my friends, and he watched, for the first time, the first season of Attack on Titan. He's never watched it before. And he said that it was, like, revolutionary for him to see an anime like that because it was, like, raw, no holds barred, gore, blood, full-on out, like, craziness. And I honestly think that that's... I mean, there's more animes that's like that, and that's kind of where my question goes, is what anime do you think has, like, the blood and gore and, like, no holds barred, no one's safe kind of stories that you enjoy?
Berserk. That's, like, the first thing that comes to mind. So I think a lot of...
Yeah, I mean, I think if ones you've consumed, though, I don't think that's fair.
Vinland.
Jake.
Fair.
I've consumed a lot of Vinland.
I guess the manga is probably more violent than the anime, even though the anime is pretty fucking violent.
Yeah, it's literally Vikings. Of course it's going to be violent. Have you not seen what they did to the
I know, I'm
king?
just saying they centered some things in the anime, but I'm sure the manga is just like full on just...
Oh, it's
nuts to
brutal.
butts.
It's brutal.
As far as me, I'm a little bitch when it comes to gore sometimes, and especially like with Japanese, like blood and gore. I never got around to watching Blood Sea or like any of those because, I don't know, it's like extreme blood and violence, and that's just not something that interests me, but... I guess out of what I've seen, out of the violence, I mean Parasite and probably Parasite. Really, that show is pretty fucking brutal, I think. And again, it doesn't hold back on the story. Characters he cares about dies just left and right. People getting split in half left and right. It's like there's no mercy towards anybody in the show. It's I think that's a good example of it, honestly, actually.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, like with your question though, I think a lot of, even though anime is slowly like going to where it's like common knowledge and like a lot of people know about it, there's still the stereotypes that come with it. Like, everyone thinks it's going to be all about high school boys and girls or just little tiny girls, lolly hentai, that kind of stuff. Which
yeah.
shut the hell up before you want to want us to get canceled, all right?
Look, we survived talking about shit. We're gonna be fine, man.
Yeah, that's a little different, all right.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. But I think there's still that stereotype. That's what all anime is, and I think again when your friend watched it, I was kind of like, dang, I didn't know a show could be like this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of shows. I mean, One Punch Man is just brutal, good animation. I mean, it's not really like a kid show that much. Vinland's not a kid show at all. Berserk, if you read Berserk, is brutal.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows like that are just like they're intended for a mature audience, and I think if more people started to watch those shows, they would be more inclined to start watching more anime. In turn,
I think that's something. I think that's something that makes like certain animes go above and beyond. Like you don't see that type of blood and gore in typical anime. So whenever you do see it, it just like brings it up to another level, and it's more enjoyable, I think, especially as you get older too, because you can relate. Well, you can't really relate, but you're like happy that they're able to cross these bounds. It's not just a kid's show. It's not just an animated show sort of thing. I mean, I know that like with the first season of Promised Neverland, with that ending, was something that got me really excited for the series, and obviously it fucking flopped.
Right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kind of the same thing with Made in Abyss too. Like it's so cutesy on the outside, but when you find out what the hell's going on,
that was a good one.
That was a good one.
I should have brought that up.
I so forgot about it. I'm too on the Vinland high.
I do want to give another answer. So I think for me, when it comes to gore, like blood and stuff, I think it's one more posed as a torture-based thing that I'm squeamish towards it. But if there's characters exploding and shit and stuff like that, then I'm fine with it. And Symphogear, from what I've seen of it, like the first 5 episodes, perfect example of that. Characters who are fucking just dying left and right. It seems like edge galore, and like I'm excited to watch that. So I think Symphogear fits in that perfectly, because I think you saw the first 5 episodes, right, Jake? Literally the first 3 minutes is just
the first 2. I think like a
yeah. Well,
year
you
ago?
Should still know.
I think it was like a year ago. It's been a while. Like I can't remember a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, still again, it was like the first
I remember the
2 minutes of that show.
I remember the explosions.
Like,
though. I know what you're talking about.
Shit was going down left and right. It was brutal. So I mean, I think that's a good example of that too for me. But yeah, I mean, it's weird with the Attack on Titan thing. I know probably from like outside looking in and seeing this, it's like, wow, this is fucking like no holds barred. It's like nothing's held back. It's like gritty. It's brutal. But I feel like, especially the first season of Attack on Titan was like the most held back on what it presented. I think so, because like the most you saw was just characters like getting bitten. Yeah, they were dying, but like you didn't see them like getting like guts coming out. You didn't even see like the bottom half of their bodies falling out and stuff like that. It was mostly just like they would pan away, they would make the screen dark, just blood gushing everywhere, which is like, yeah, it's brutal compared to other things, but look at mostly any other anime, and Attack on Titan doesn't really get that gory compared to it. Wait, I think now, yeah.
Wait, no.
I think now, yes.
I think no, because I think the Netflix is doing the Blu-ray version, so the Blu-ray versions do have like uncensored. It's not black bars.
Well, was he watching on Netflix still?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah,
that would be the only thing he has.
Pretty sure that it's the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray they don't censor anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, and even then, I'm not sure how much that would change. And again, I'm not going to say like Attack on Titan is not brutal or anything. It 100% is. It is just funny to me that maybe it's just because I've seen so much, but it is like when I think of a brutal show, my first thought is an Attack on Titan. So.
Right. Like I totally agree, but the perspective that it came to me with kind of made me think about it a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, like I get his perspective. Yeah, it's like it's probably just me. Yeah, coming from like, oh, I've seen so many other more fucked up anime. It seems like Attack on Titan's like, you know, baby's first shit, but you know, again, perfectly understandable that somebody would think that. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure you're thinking about Euphoria too.
No, definitely not. I don't want to think about Euphoria.
I haven't even seen it. That's a good show, right?
Oh yeah, show definitely.
It's a good show. It's a show. It's a show. You can't lie. You can't lie about that. It is a show.
Yeah, I mean, it is a show. It was made and it was shown to people, but I don't know if good is the right descriptor for it.
I don't think bad is the good description for it either.
It's just somewhere in limbo between.
But yeah, I mean, I've just been scrolling my analysts trying to find like other answers. But yeah, I think for me, it's just Made in Abyss, Parasite. Yeah, I mean, you guys forget you have an analyst made. I mean, Tail still hasn't updated his.
Yeah.
But And I would say we could do like an episode where we rate each other's analysts, but I think we all know each other's scores anyway. So I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I don't think that'd be very, very much exciting. Yeah, and actually, yeah, looking at my list, I think it is holding true that I don't like consuming that much gory shit. Like I said, I've had the opportunity to do that. Like I said, I could have watched Blood Sea. There's another fucking brutal one. I think there is some experimental anime that get messed up like that. Elfenlied, I know that. I've stayed away from it because I just, don't. I'm just like not one to like gore stuff like that. And it's ironic because I'm a huge horror fan, but I don't know. It's just something to me that like Japanese gore, especially, they like going crazy with it. Even when they cry, Higurashi, they go pretty fucking brutal with it. But I just thought the show wasn't very good, so I just left that out.
I'm not seeing a lot of like shows that I remember. I mean, I think the best show that I can see so far on my list is Aramanga Sensei.
Oh, I know, dude. I need to raise that to a 10 again. Fuck. Yeah, but for me, I think Made in Abyss's brutalness from episode 10 alone far outweighs everything I've seen in Attack on Titan, and that's probably just due to the gritty, just dirty nature of that episode. It's like seeing people get bit in half, I don't really mind. Seeing a girl get her arm snapped in multiple fucking places while she's bleeding out of her eyes, yes, that is much more brutal to me.
Yeah. But we are forgetting a big one here. Goblin Slayer.
I was gonna say that, but again, that suffers from the censorship thing. Yeah, it's like I know the manga is probably more brutal, and I have read the manga, some of it, but it's like when it comes to the anime, you don't see much. Really, yeah, you don't
but
see
you
much.
Can't really forget that opening episode, though.
I know,
it sticks with you.
The opening episode and then his flashback; those are the only two things I can remember that really.
It's like brutal implications, but you don't really see the brutalness. You see like there's skulls bashed in sometimes, but I don't know. Again, like I think that's one of those things where they suffer from being censored by TV with the black bars and cutting away and making it overly dark so you can't see too much.
Right.
But I think if they weren't censored to that degree, I think Goblin Slayer would be like, really fucking brutal. And again, from what I've read of the manga, aka the spin-off where they're in bikinis, it is pretty brutal. So I agree with that to a degree.
And that is why, guys, you buy the Blu-rays so you don't have the black bars censoring everything.
Yeah, I would suggest using certain sites that I have been using too.
Are you serious?
I can't mention them here. I don't want them getting taken down. They all use Blu-ray rips. So if you don't, because Crunchyroll and Funimation don't like using Blu-ray rips for whatever reason. So I would suggest using, sites where they do have them, because they almost always opt to use the Blu-ray versions because they have cut content used in them, and they're just higher definition.
And they're easier to upload. You remember that?
Yep, easier to upload.
I also want to give one last quick shout out to Princess Mononoke for the unexpected brutalness.
Oh yeah, I was just staring at that. I wanted to bring it up. Low-key. Yeah,
it's fantastic watching a dude get his arm blown off out of nowhere.
What are you forgetting about the guy that got his head just fucking torn off his body?
or where he shoots,
there's plenty.
He shoots the arrow and the guy's head just turns into paste.
Yeah. I was not expecting that. I just remember I was like, oh, it can be a cool princess S movie, and then his head just fucking just evaporates. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, maybe I should go out and consume more brutal anime. And again, it's just I am weird when it comes to that torture stuff. I'm interested in Berserk, and that is probably gore and blood galore, but I'm still interested in that. But things again, like I've mentioned so many times, Blood Sea, that's literally just blood blenders walking around killing people, and I don't really want to watch that. So, same thing, I don't want to watch fucking, this isn't anime, but Hostel and some of the later Saw movies, just because I don't like, I just don't like gore like that. I'm a squeamish little bitch.
Yeah, that's right, you are. And I hate horror
movies. Boys. You hate what?
What?
You hate torture movies?
What? No.
You're a bitch, dude.
No, I don't, dude. I don't know what you heard. My internet's been cutting off and on. So.
Well, I do want to ask
Final Destination
question.
Movies is where it's at.
Oh, I've only seen 3 or 4, I think.
I've only seen 1.
Where she fucking scorpions when she's doing her gymnastics thing. That's the only one I remember, and I saw that when I was at the Grand Canyon for some reason. That movie was on. She just slipped off and scorpion, and that scene is stuck in my head. I don't know why. It doesn't scare me, but anytime I think of horror movies, that just plays in my mind, and I laugh my ass off. But
yeah,
I don't know if you guys are caught up with seasonals, but I did want to ask what your favorite seasonal going on right now is, because there's a bunch. There's a lot going on. And out of the bunch, like, what do you think is the best of the season? And Jujutsu Kaisen, and what's the other one?
I'm not going to include those.
Attack on Titan included.
I'm not going to include those ones because those are like continuations. So
okay, so then disclude Attack on Titan as well. Then.
Yeah. So right now, of course, the three big ones for me right now is three. No, I don't even have three. Jesus Christ. The two that come to mind right now is Skate and Wonder Egg. Those are the two that are kind of out at left field, but I'm loving it so far.
It's interesting. So for me, this might be honestly fucking ReZero is my top 10. I love this show to death. I'm 3 episodes behind on it, and I actually have 3 more shows that I'm more anticipated. First one, obviously, Yuta Camp. It has just been on fire, adapting the manga perfectly. I'm enjoying so much of my time with it. And then to Wonder Egg Priority, obviously, it is looking and shaping up to be a top 10 show. Like, I really don't see a reason why it can't at this point. It's like, it's been doing so much. It's been doing everything I've been expecting and more, and it's just been on fire. The animation has been amazing. The action's amazing. The themes it's tackling, even if I can't relate to any of them, it still makes me emotional. It's like, especially this last episode, I don't know if you saw it, Jake. It is like, I can't relate to that at all. And even then, I feel for like those characters. And it's like, that's how you write powerful storytelling. And then the third one, and this is something I honestly didn't expect to be like my favorite out of the season. Beastars Season 2 is so fucking good. Like, I caught up, Jake, last night, so I am caught up with everything that's happened, except the episode that came out today. Obviously, we can't watch it yet because it hasn't even been translated, I don't think.
Yeah, it's already been translated.
It has been so fucking good. It is like, oh my god, I loved the first season, and
it's already been translated. I already watched it.
Okay, well then, definitely. Oh, well, I'm definitely watching that then. They usually been taking like 7 hours to translate after the episode comes out, so they've been, because they don't have a dedicated translator for it, and obviously it's not on any streaming services, but it is, oh my god, I think you can agree, it is like, holy shit. Like, their writing has been top notch. My nigga Luis is just,
hey, what was that?
He's a Chad. Louise, whatever.
Hey,
you want to
what'd you say before that, dude? Are you serious?
My nigga, you know Luis is a light skinned man. Come on.
Are you serious,
that.
bro, dude? Or like,
you're
gonna say this on the podcast, dude? You're white black, dude. Come on, dude. You're not.
I've said nigga. Did you not hear me say nigga like twice earlier in the podcast? I did. I don't know why I'm saying nigga today because I rarely do. But
wow.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to end the episode here, dude. Like, are you serious?
I know. I'm sorry for using these racial slurs, guys.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways,
I mean, hopefully you can agree, though. Yeah.
The story right now is like, it's really really fucking good, especially because they just you don't know what happened like this last episode, but Luis is just, oh my god, dude, he is such a good character right now.
Yeah, it's like, I was excited to see where he was going from the last season, and it is like, this is not at all what I was expecting, and it is amazing. It is like, I love the dynamic they set up in that world, and how like the carnivores and herbivores view each other and stuff like that. And Legoshi, I've always thought he's a fantastic protagonist, and even then, I love him now because it's basically like everybody is telling him what his flaws and like everything are, and that the way he's living his life is not good. And he's like doing it anyways, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's like, it's just really good. I like that about like Legoshi. I think is like, he's very self-aware, and that the things he's doing are wrong, but he's doing it like
it's
the
his
wrong
ideals.
way, basically.
It's
like he's not gonna give up his ideals to do things what would probably be the easier, correct way. He's just sticking to his guts, and it works out for him, obviously, most of the time. But it's like, you know, they're just basically telling him, it's like, hey man, you know, if you just look at it from this way, things would be a lot easier. And he's like, nope, I see things a different way. And he's a really cool character because of that.
Well, apparently the last episode he didn't get it right because he got his head bashed in.
Oh, well, you're right. Well, that's what I mean. It gets him into tough situations. Now, obviously, he's probably going to find out, you know, by the end of the season what happens. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if he just took simpler approaches, he wouldn't get his shit kicked in by that.
Well, I mean,
whatever that man was.
He's doing it right now because one, I don't even want to like talk a lot about it because I don't want to spoil it, but he's making the necessary sacrifices in order to further his own goals, which I'm liking so far.
Yeah.
And I mean,
he's like a self-destructive character.
Yeah, and he knows it too, because as like you said, everyone tells him that that's how he is, and he still does it. It shows how much resolve he has and how much how determined he is to find out the truth. One, and two, to realize his own ideals so he can better. He could be the leader for a newfound society in that world of Beastars, where herbivores and carnivores.
And so he can fuck that. He can.
And
fuck
yeah,
that
we get it,
rabbit.
dude. He's about to have some Ranit Putang, all right, dude.
Oh yeah, boys.
And that's something we can get, dude.
What's I don't know if you've been watching seasonals. I know you've been busy with furthering your career and education like a loser. But
hey, when we take off,
have you been watching much?
Hey, when we take off, you're quitting school and you're coming full time with us.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's if we take off. I don't.
No, it's not if.
We're
it's
already taking off. Are you serious?
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay. Yeah. But no, I haven't watched very many seasonals at all. But I can give a pretty educated guess, saying that my favorite is most likely Yuru Camp.
Yeah. No, you're gonna love it, man.
I mean, I've seen the first episode, and young Shimmerin already stole my heart. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be my top.
Hey, have you
have
not seen
Wonder Egg priority?
Quintuplets has literally been doing so many things right now. I'm loving that show.
Yeah.
Oh man, and Yuta Camp has been on top. I just love Yuta Camp again. Side tangent. I don't know if you've read the manga. I keep forgetting if you have or haven't. But they adapted my favorite scene in the whole series last week. I'm so upset that nobody's talking about it, and it's probably because it played during the ED. So people probably clicked away because it was playing while this ending song was playing. But it is just such a wholesome and heartfelt moment, and just shows how much Nadeshiko cares for people. And it is I almost cried watching it. It's that's how much I love that show. So I think you'll love it. It has been so good. There has not been a single thing wrong with this season.
Serious?
Dude, I love Yuta Camp. Like I said, I'm making a spoiler for everybody here. That's Kikazu, the YouTuber fans here. My next video is on Yuta Camp. So.
Oh, who would have guessed you would have done a Euro Camp by now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it's taking me this long, but yeah. So you said you haven't watched much. Oh, we forgot to bring up the best seasonal redo of a healer.
I watched the last episode and I'm just like, Jesus, are you serious, dude?
Oh yeah, dude, I'm still 2 episodes behind.
No,
I didn't see the
episode 4 is what the hell is wrong with this guy, dude?
Well, I know he's fucking crazy, man.
It is a crazy show. It's sneaky good. I'm gonna call it sneaky good. That kind of stuff. Because I like the world, but what happens in the world is kind of screwed up. Not gonna lie. I'm not down for the scenes that come out, dude. Because this latest episode, I was just like, dude, you can't do that, man. On stream, come on, dude.
What? I need you to make a side tangent about redo of a healer. I really need to take a piss, Jake. So you boys hash it out about redo of a healer real quick, or whatever you fucking desire.
All right. So this latest episode, right? There's spoilers, right? In this episode 4, right? If you even need spoilers, dude, he freaking rapes a fox, or the fox pretty much goes with her. No, yeah, it was a semi. It was a blue-haired wolf girl. We're getting into bestiality already, dude. But she's an anime girl, and she gives himself in order for him to further his agenda, right, and make her stronger. But she in turn is gonna help him out. But so they do the deed, all right, dude. And it's just why? You're showing this on stream. This is out of this is not TOS, dude. And I mean, it's not something you should be seeing if you're 16 or 17. But if you know a good story, I mean, it's sneaky good. I wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend it. But it's something. I advise you to watch it because it's pretty.
Oh no, I'm definitely gonna watch it. Don't you worry.
Because you watch interspecies of reviewers, right?
Interspecies reviewers, yep. I watched that all the way through on my TV. It was great.
So, all right, but we're not going to talk about redo when he gets back. But have you watched Attack on Titan, at all?
The 4th season?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
You need to catch up ASAP.
Yeah, I need to catch up on a lot of things.
No.
If you haven't been telling, but
I'm telling you right now, I don't care what else you need to watch. Attack on Titan's coming first. Because I didn't want to put it on this list, but that would be number 1. That's how good it is right now, and I'm pretty sure Ethan would put it on his number 1 too, or number 2 because he's a Eurocamp fanboy.
Yeah. No, I know. I need to catch up on a lot of things. Attack on Titan is definitely like one of the top on my list. Camp might come before Attack on Titan. Sorry, that's just the way it is. But
well, yeah, because you're already kind of like far in, so it's like you don't really need to catch up that much. This one, since you haven't started, you're watching 8 episodes, 9 episodes, so that's gonna be
what?
Yeah. Of Redo of a Hero, they came out with the Blu-ray that's 24 episodes uncensored with additional scenes.
Wait, so this is gonna be a 2-core series? I didn't realize that.
Dumbass, dude. No, we were talking about Attack on Titan. I was talking about how he hasn't if you watched it, because I don't get it, dude. Like
they're just telling me about all the different things that I need to hurry up and catch up on, which I am very aware of.
I just said Attack on Titan. That's really it, because we're not gonna. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it too much, but it's. If I were to say like the number one thing I'm looking forward to every week, it's got to be Attack on Titan. If I could say anything else,
for me, it's obviously Unicamp and then Wonder Egg. I think, honestly, yeah, both on an equal level, because Wonder Egg was really just like out of nowhere to the point where it's like, God damn, my Tuesdays are just Wonder Egg Tuesdays. I can't. I think about that show all the time.
I think of Black Clover.
It's
more.
like it's so good.
I'm thinking of Black Clover more. I'm looking forward every Tuesday, dude. Because the arcs it's going right now they're nutty.
Well, like I said, those arcs are gonna end, dude, in fucking 2 months. So you better enjoy what left of Black Goater you have left.
Well, yeah. I am very curious with Wonder Egg, because now that I presume in the opening, because those are the only 4 characters I saw. After this, what's gonna happen? That's because I already knew
now
like
that
the first
have the
couple
main cast.
episodes, like they were just pretty much introducing the characters and giving their background and their backstories and how they're gonna be, how they fit in the group. And I'm just curious to what kind of other themes that they're gonna come out with.
Well, that's what I'm most excited about for too. It's like they've done so much in 4 episodes, and we have like obviously 8 more episodes to go. This isn't 5 episodes, I don't think.
Oh Jesus, no, it's 4. No, I looked at 5. It aired in 4 days and 10 hours, 35 minutes.
Yeah, this came out like a week after everything else did.
Oh my god, I forgot to watch the Gintama, the semifinal episode 2. All right, watching that right.
Oh, I forgot to do that too. But yeah, like, so for me, like, again, every week I just been looking forward to Wonder Egg and Unicamp. Obviously, Unicamp's around the podcast days, which is like I watch it right before we record. Watch today's, again, nothing short of perfection. It is that studio's basically only anime, so they get to put all their time and effort into it. And obviously, they love making Unicamp, and it shows because they put so much attention to detail into everything that it's like, genuinely, I think it's like one of the most solid adaptations, because they add some things that aren't in the anime or in the manga. And then when they have callbacks to the manga, they aren't afraid to break their style. Because I'm sure you've seen that in the first season too. They'll just break off into a chibi style sometimes. Or they'll just completely reference the manga out of nowhere, where the characters just completely just turn into like round blobs. And it's just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing now. And it works. It works fucking perfectly. And then they even adapt the 4 comas they do at the end of each chapter, or end of each volume. And I'm so happy about that. But yeah, anyways, they don't hold a flame to Redo of a Healer. I love Kiadu. He's my MC. Everything that happens in the show, they all had it coming to them. And I see myself in Kiadu. I think I'm going to get the police called on me for that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, probably.
Stop talking. You really need to. Like, first
It sounded like an incel.
First we have lolly hentai, and you say, hell yeah, dude. And then we have the police called once. Second time, you're going to get a SWAT team on your house, dude, if you keep doing that, dude.
Yeah, man, that was my bad there. Sorry, I don't like... Oh, sorry, I mean, Kearuga is his name. I said his name wrong now, so, they don't know who I'm talking about.
All right. Is that all we got?
I think that's all we got,
I believe that's all the topics we have.
Well, I mean, we can go into our usual again. Probably we talked about a lot of what we've been watching and reading this full episode anyways, but as far as what we've been watching and reading, for me, again, the seasonals, all of that's what I've been doing. And then Nananbiori, I highly suggest it to anybody out there that loves the Iashikai, I think that's the name of the genre, the healing anime genre, so like the Unicamps, Encouragement of Climb, K-On!, because K-On! Falls in that category. If you like any of those where it's just about having fun, watch Nananbiori, because that is all it is. It's just fun. It's cute. You're just there to have a good time, and you have a really fucking good time. I highly suggest that to anybody, because I love that show. It's just been a blast.
So yeah, I've been as I said in previous, I've been reading Vinland Saga. I'm probably gonna catch up to it tomorrow. and I'm gonna be all cut up, and I'm loving it so far. I think I'm gonna start tackling the silent voice next because I have all of them down there. You guys can see them. It's like down there.
We bought the box set at the same time.
On my camera, I'm showing them. Yeah, it's like right there. Yeah, and I'm probably gonna tackle that, and it's probably gonna take me a couple days because I'm not that big of a reader, but I'm trying to like get into it, and especially with Vinland, it really like it made me go on a tear. So I'm this is probably the best time, if not any, for me to start reading most of my collection because I've only read 2 of them, now 3 actually. But seasonals, I did start Horimiya. Yeah, Horimiya, that's what it was called. And I'm loving it so far. I especially love Izumi. He's a really funny guy. You need to catch up because the next 2 episodes.
Oh, I caught up.
Fourth episode.
I forgot to tell you I caught up. No, I forgot to tell you I caught up.
Okay, so the way he nonchalantly says it, like in the middle of what he's talking about everything.
Oh, I know, dude. He's a god.
He's such a goat.
I will say before Tel gets into us, I do understand what people were talking about the pacing now. There are times where I am having a hard time understanding what point of time the shit is happening because they randomly cut to a flashback, but they don't make it very clear it's a flashback.
Yeah.
Until I realized when the events were happening, I was like, oh, okay, now it's a flashback. So they're just very bad with time perspective in there. But other than that, it's a good show. It's like it's just the pacing and the way they manage time is just. It isn't very clear, but I think that's just the source material's fault, not really the show.
Well, I don't know the source material, so I don't really know.
Well, according to what I've heard from people, they said this is basically how it happens in the manga. So I'm like, okay.
That's pretty good then. It's all right. If it's bad in the manga, it's bad in the anime, but at least it follows the adaptation, unlike a certain show that had a recap episode.
Yeah, they didn't keep their promises. Yeah, I used your joke, Jake.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched anything in the last week to give an update on, honestly. I mean, I've been busy with, if you want to hear about me rant about fluid mechanics, then I can do that. But besides that, I got nothing to really say.
Dude, the only fluid mechanics I have are when I watch some lolly hentai.
Okay, all right. We're going to have to cut the episode. Sorry, Tel.
That's a good place to stop right there.
Let's stop the recording.
Well, no, a good place to stop, actually, is after this next segment. Our usual segment, our outro.
You're not even going to let Tel talk,
thank you guys.
Dude? Are you serious?
Tell literally he wants to end the pod, dude, so I'm ending the pod for him.
He was going to talk about fluid mechanics.
Yeah, that's what people tune in to hear, man. I'll put a timestamp so they can hear him talk about his lecture for fluid mechanics for an hour.
Hey, that could help someone with the test.
We'll just leave the mic on.
For their first exam. That could help them.
Dude, I need help for my first exam. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
not helping any of you.
I can help you a little bit if you know what I mean.
And you guys can help us by going to our Patreon and becoming patrons over at patreon.com/AskCast. We have a $2, $5, and $10 tier. All of them have their own benefits, but the $5 is where you get the bonus episodes. Once we have enough patrons going on, we'll start making the bonus episodes for you guys. We just want to make sure we actually have, a viewing audience there. It's not going to make sure we have 100 people or anything. We're not that fucking greedy. But it's just we want to make sure there's people into it, interested in it. And again, don't feel obligated to become patrons. The best way to support us is just by watching and being fans of the show. And again, thank you for doing that. You can also listen to our regular episodes and any other episodes we might feel like adding over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts at Anime Safe Space. We're also on YouTube, where we're going to be doing webcam episodes where you can see our beautiful faces like you're seeing right now if you're on the app.
I'm waving to the camera.
Anime Safe Space. Yep, I was doing jazz hands in my face. Can subscribe to us there, and we're also on Twitter, where we give updates, post episodes, and ask weekly questions. Also, obviously, at Anime Safe Space. And you guys can feel free to DM and tweet at any of us if you guys have questions about the show or suggestions, or you just want to get in touch with us. And and if you want some pictures of Jake's juicy ass, you can DM him on Twitter. So.
Yep.
Right. Never mind.
No input, Jake?
No input.
Gonna leave me hanging at the end?
You'll see on the camera, all right?
Well, this is an awkward ending, boys. I think we should just let the awkward silence sit as long as we can until somebody decides to just end the recording.
So it's gonna be 2 hours.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a sitting contest right here. We'll see if the guests left yet.
I already ended my recording.
I'm still waiting with the guess.
I ended my camera. The recording's still going, but my camera's just going to end.
All right. Thank you for listening, boys.